At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice three-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming, from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Welcome back here on a Friday, the Young Norvelle Show, kicking around a bunch of sports. Fun time of year. A lot of people say, oh, man, it's kind of the dead time. Man, there's a lot of fun stuff overlapping. You've got the golf major that'll run all weekend, the PGA. We told you Jonathan Vegas, I should say, is leading. He's in the clubhouse. He went 64-70. So he's had 2 good rounds. We'll keep you updated on the rest of the golfers as they're coming in. He is 8 under par, but you've got the big golf tournament going on. You've got college baseball. You've got the NBA playoffs we want to get into today. Big game tonight in New York. Boy, the Knicks better close that bad boy out. They do not want to go back to Boston. I know Boston's banged up, but the last place you want to be is Game 7 at Boston. Major League Baseball really starting to get going now. We're past the quarter pole. All this is falling together. College softball, I'm trying to talk people into following it. It's a fun sport. Really fun sport is college softball. Hey, real quick, let me tell you folks, we are obviously basically in the summer camp season. I know a lot of you parents are looking for camps to get your kids involved in their activities. If you've got a basketballer in your family, someone male or female. Now, let me tell you about the Jacksonville Basketball Academy. Coach Jim Martin, you know him, probably about the most accomplished basketball coach in our area. Coach Martin's been doing it a long time, really, really knows the game. He offers his Jacksonville Basketball Academy has camps that will run about 9 straight weeks here. The camps will get going. You've got time now. They get started on May 27th, so they'll start in 10 days or so. May 27th, they run all the way through August 4th. They are most of them are 4 and 5 day camps. So weekly kind of. If you've got a basketball player in your life, if you're a basketball player now, and this is kind of grades, they'll go as young as grade 3 through high school, but they bust them down different categories. So if you want to go ahead and you've got a basketball player in your life, they're trying to enhance their game, work on their basketball game, they will teach shooting, ball handling, passing, footwork, understanding the game of basketball, and, of course, teamwork. Coach Martin, as good as they get in our area at coaching and teaching the game of basketball. Easy enough to do. Just jump on Google, bang in Jacksonville Basketball Academy. Jacksonville Basketball Academy. Get signed up. They get started those camps, and you can do multiple camps if you'd like. Different skills. What are you trying to work on? A lot of fun, and you're going to get your basketball player will get a lot out of it. Jacksonville Basketball Academy. So there you have it. We'll get some Major League Baseball talk. Tonight, though, I teased a moment ago, tonight, big basketball game as the Knicks are trying to close out the Celtics. Without Tatum, obviously, the Celtics are still dangerous, obviously, defending NBA champs. Brown, White, Pritchard, Holiday, Horford, Cornette. I mean, they still got some good players. Big game for the Knicks tonight. They've got the closeout game on their court. I kind of like Boston tonight. I think Boston might. I know that sounds crazy. You realize Jason Tatum, out for the year now, ruptured the Achilles tendon. You think of Tatum, Brown, Tatum, the two-headed really superstar monster for the Celtics, and they are. They're both great players. I didn't realize Tatum led Boston in points, rebounds, assists, and steals. Goodness gracious. What a player. And he's out. He's done. There's talk he may miss next season. That Achilles rupture is so bad. But should it get moved, should Boston stay alive, I think the favorite would shift to the Celtics on their home court in Game 7. The other conference on the other side, Denver, Oklahoma City, they are tied at 3. So they have a final game that comes up Sunday, 3:30, Denver, OKC. So, man, you'll have golf wrapping up Sunday, hopefully, and a 7th game guaranteed Sunday afternoon, early evening as well. Oklahoma City and Denver, boy, they have been going at it. Have those two. Oak City, the number 1 seed on that. The number 1 seed on that side. They will be at home. So Oklahoma City, Denver, that comes up on Sunday, and then Monday would be the 7th game if Boston can force a 7th game. On the other side, obviously, we have Indiana and Minnesota, respectively. They've already won their way into their conference finals. So basketball slowly wrapping up. Boy, I tell you, the one thing about the NBA playoffs, I bring it up at this time every year. This is not an exaggeration. The NBA playoffs are 2 months. They play off for 2 full months. I think that's too long. I think that is way too long to try to keep your fan base and certainly the casual fan engaged. But that's the way they do it in the NBA. All right, wanted to talk about Jack Caglione. You know me, I'm kind of one of his big fans. A lot of people love watching him play. The big 6'5" power hitter out of Florida, just did incredible things in his time with the Gators. He is absolutely lighting it up in Double-A baseball. But he did something. It's a first in his career, I think. Certainly in the pro level, it's the first. He had a first, and this doesn't happen very often at all. But let me give you Caglione's numbers through, 36 games in Double-A. This is Double-A ball. He is just knocking the cover off the ball. Caglione right now batting .324 in 142 at-bats, so he's played now. They've got a lot of games under their belt. Caglione in 142 at-bats, batting .324. He's got 7 doubles, 9 home runs. He's walked 19 times, and he struck out 36. They're kind of happy with those numbers. Now, Caglione, earlier this week, did something I've never heard in baseball. And you may be thinking, oh, God, did he hit one 600 feet? What did he do? Did he swing and knock a hole in the outfield? Well, here's what he did. He was playing a game the other night, and he got tagged for delay of game because of the clock, right? The clock is designed for the pitchers to speed up the game, and the batters are on the clock as well. Well, Caglione, umpire jumps from behind the catcher and takes his mask off, does his motion to his wrist where your watch is, and he points to Caglione. That's a delay on the batter. Automatic strike. So it's 0-1. And Casey, I don't know if you're busy in there, if you can chime in on this. I know you're a baseball guy. Yeah, we'll get Casey in a minute. I know he's going to enjoy this story as well, a baseball guy. So the umpire says, delay on the batter. Well, Caglione, you can kind of see he's motioning to the umpire, and he's kind of motioning to the pitcher, kind of saying, well, the pitcher wasn't ready. He wasn't on the mound really engaged. So, but the umpire says, oh, nope, forget it. So automatic strike before the pitch is thrown. It's 0-1. So next pitch is delivered, and Cags takes a mighty cut, swing and a miss. Swing and a miss. So it's 0-2, and everything's kind of cruising along. Cags is kind of getting back in the box, and he's ready to go, and the pitcher, all of a sudden, the umpire again shoots out from behind the catcher, whips off his mask, and gives the heave-ho sign to Caglione. He says, I'm throwing you out of the game. Obviously, Caglione said something. And obviously, anytime I can work this word in, it's fun. It was something tawdry. But Caglione gets thrown out after he swings and misses, and the count's 0-2. So here's what Caglione did and happened to him that I've never heard of, but obviously it's the rule. So it's 0-2. He's thrown out. Caglione's team and his manager, they have to send up a batter. Got to replace the guy that just got thrown out. So the batter comes out of the dugout, and he's literally taking Caglione's third strike. You've heard that little league phrase. Well, the batter that steps in for Caglione, who's been thrown out, he strikes out. But the strikeout goes to Caglione. So Jack Caglione managed to do this, and I've never heard this. He got thrown out of the baseball game and then struck out. How often do you hear that? Because Caglione was the one that had the 2 strikes on him. He finishes with a strikeout. How about that? How about that? I've never heard that. This guy keeps doing things. He's fun to track, though. I would imagine if he keeps hitting the ball like this, he will get called up late July, early August. The Royals are pretty good this year, and but they're not a mashing. He would bring, if he keeps swinging the ball at the major league level, you got to keep swinging the bat like that. But let me take a look at the standings real quick. Kansas City, and that's he's in the Royal Farm System. He's in Double-A. Kansas City's having a good year. They're 25-20, 4.5 games back. So they're right now, unless they're playing way over their heads, they will probably, if they keep this up, there's 3 wild cards. I would imagine Caglione would get called up to try and bring a big bat to that Kansas City lineup. So anyway, Caglione thrown out of the game and strikes out after being thrown out. Hard to do. hard to do. All right, other Major League news and notes wanted to get to. And don't forget, we'll check in with Brent Beard. He'll dial us up about 5 o'clock. Brent will take us home in the second hour with a lot of different topics. We'll also get back to some softball. The softball regionals are going on. Want to make sure we cover all those. We've got Florida hosting softball regional. We've got Florida State hosting a softball regional. We've got Georgia in a softball regional. And we have UNF in a softball regional. We'll cover those scores later this afternoon, particularly in the second hour with Brent Beard as well. The Minnesota Twins keep keeping on. The Twins are now at 11-game winning streak. Certainly and easily the longest streak of the year for anybody, I think. 11 games. The Twins, you know you had a bad start when you're on an 11-game winning streak. You're the Minnesota Twins, and you're 24-20. You're 4 games over 500, and you've won 11 in a row. They're still 5 games out, but good for the Twins. That's the streak of record. This weekend, interesting stuff going on in New York. We've got the Subway Series, number 1, Yankees and Mets. They don't like each other. And Juan Soto has made the comment, something to the effect of, and the series is in New York, the Yankee Stadium. They're hosting. So Juan Soto, who played for the Yankees last year, and in the offseason took a few more dollars and went to the Mets. A lot of people thought he would just stay right there. He looked like he really enjoyed playing next to Judge and on the Yankees, but he goes to the Mets. This will be the first time Soto, the Met, goes and plays his old team, the Yankees. And Soto has said this weekend these games will be 50,000 to 1. 50,000 Yankee fans all over him, and he will have to battle them off. But that'll be fun to follow that series. 2 first-place teams, right? Yeah, Yankees up in the East by 4 over Boston. And the Mets up by 2.5 in the NL East over Philadelphia. So 2 good teams and some good storylines this weekend. The Subway Series, Yankees-Mets. Soto goes back to Yankee Stadium. I mentioned Boston, the Red Sox, 22-23, so they're right at 500. They're in 4 games behind the Yankees, but they're playing better ball. Atlanta opens up a weekend series at Boston. So Atlanta kind of just beat up on, the Nationals. But now they get a stiffer competition as the Red Sox have lost 3 in a row, but the Braves go into Boston. So the Braves, by the way, it appears they're getting really close to Ronald Acuña and Spencer Strider coming back to the big club. It looks like they're both getting really, really close. Acuña obviously is on the farm getting at-bats, and I think he's swinging it pretty well. And then Strider just recently threw a simulated game. So it looks like the Braves are going to get back close to 100% health in the near future if nobody else goes down, as it looks like Strider and Acuña are really, really, really close to coming back. So there you have a little baseball look. Let's take one more break here. We'll start closing up hour number 1, and we'll welcome Brent Beard on about at the top of the hour, a little after 5 o'clock. Brent Beard will join us. We'll come back and look at some of these softball scores and start prepping Brent Beard's segment. Also, strange situation, I think, maybe I'm overreading this. You followed the little Caleb Williams book deal? Writes a book, talks about quarterback play, but he's got some stuff in there. I'm like, why would he write that? Why would he even talk about that? I've got a saying sometimes I've used in sports, and these guys get loose lips. Before you say something, think, what's to be gained? If Caleb Williams was sitting here, I would ask him about his book. We'll dive into that. There's a little tease for you. Let's take another break here, slowly wrapping up hour number 1. Friday edition, the Young Norvelle Show continues after this quick timeout.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained, and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
All right, back we are here as we are starting to close in on kicking off the second hour. We've got Brent Beard coming up at 5 o'clock. We've got a lot of stuff to cover with Brent Beard. We'll revisit the Florida win last night over Alabama. What a comeback win for the Gators, but just more injuries, more adversity. I've never seen a team to my memory that I follow that has suffered this many injuries. We'll go over this in a moment, but Florida beats Alabama game 1 in baseball last night in Gainesville 7-6. With that, let's switch to softball real quick. We've got some neat developments happening. The women's softball tournament now has started, regional play all over the country, and we've got some local teams. How about UNF, the Lady Ospreys? They win their way into regional play with by winning the A-Sun. And UNF, they are in the Columbia, South Carolina regional. They are currently playing Virginia. And UNF, at last look here, leading 2-1, top of the 6th. So UNF getting close. If they can hold on, they will have a win in round 1 over an ACC school. UNF softball leading Virginia 2-1, top of the 6th inning in Columbia, South Carolina. Florida State and Tallahassee hosting a regional as well. That's a really strong softball program. They've won a national title in recent years. Florida State currently leading Robert Morris in their first game of the regional, 1-0, top of the 3rd, 1-0, top of the 3rd. We have a delay in Gainesville, and I'm going to throw a double at you here now. I'm showing Florida, the Gators, hosting a softball regional as well. They are scheduled to take on Mercer in their first game. It is showing delay again, which now that concerns me because if I'm thinking right, if they're delayed in Gainesville, softball, they're playing baseball right across the street, right? Thinking that through, right? So that might be not bode so well for Game 2, Florida, Alabama. And I wanted to take a quick peek. Georgia is also, are they playing right now? I think I saw their score. The Georgia softball team. Yeah, let me find that real quick. I know they were playing. I don't want to misquote the last score I saw. Let me see. Here we go. Final. It has gone final. Georgia was in a bit of a dogfight, no pun intended, 3-3 at one point late in the game with Coastal Carolina. But the Georgia softball team has defeated Coastal Carolina 6-3. And let me flip this over and find out. Georgia is in the Durham regional in softball. Duke hosting. Duke's real good in softball. Now, Florida, third-ranked national seed. The Gators hosting in Gainesville. That regional will meet the Durham regional winner. So there's a chance Florida and Georgia could meet in a super. Now, if that happened, Florida would host because they are a national seed. Georgia is not. But they could meet up if Florida wins their regional and if Georgia comes through. By the way, the other teams in Florida's regional are Mercer, Georgia Tech, and FAU. The 4 teams in the regional that Georgia is in, obviously Duke, the host, Howard, and Coastal Carolina, the team they just beat. Georgia is the 4th team. Florida State, they are the 5th overall seed. And it's important, your overall seed is important for the second round, the super regionals. The higher seed gets to host. Florida State, they are hosting, and we were telling you they are just getting underway about in the 3rd inning. Florida State leading Robert Morris. The other 2 teams, Auburn and South Florida. That's where the upset happened. South Florida has already knocked off Auburn in Game 1. So if Florida State wins today, they will take on South Florida tomorrow. That obviously is in Tallahassee. The Tallahassee regional in softball is paired up with the Lubbock, Texas Tech regional. Texas Tech, Brown, Washington, and Mississippi State. How about this? And I'll just throw it because, well, I'm going to throw it. I told you UNF is leading Virginia, getting very late in their game in the 6th inning. UNF softball leading 2-1 over Virginia. That is the Columbia, South Carolina regional. South Carolina, the host, will play Elon. So it's UNF, Virginia, South Carolina, Elon. If UNF was to win that regional, the winner of the Columbia, South Carolina regional is paired up with the Los Angeles regional. How about these heavyweights in softball playing in Los Angeles? UCLA hosting, Arizona State, Cal Santa Barbara, and San Diego State. So stranger things have happened, but good for UNF. Good for UNF as they are in postseason play. Hey, you can't win it. You can't win some games unless you get in it. Good for the Osprey softball team getting and representing well. We'll try and track that. Hopefully they can close that game out and get their win. Let me go backtrack a little bit because this will be a topic with Brent Beard at the top of the hour. Florida baseball. You heard Patrick earlier in hour number 1. My tease for the show today was huge, costly win for Florida over Alabama last night. And great win. Alabama's a good team. Alabama jumped up 5-0. Florida fought back and eventually won the game 7-6. That's only half the story. They get the win. That's critical. Florida needs one more win. The costly part of that was 2 more starters went out last night. One is done for the season, and Florida has had a injury-ravaged season in baseball, but they just don't miss a beat. Luke Heyman, really the heart and soul, the catcher, the third-year starter pretty much. He's played a lot of baseball in a Gator uniform. He's been out to Omaha multiple times. He's seen it all. He is the leader, the catcher, which is normally your leader. Luke Heyman gets hit in the forearm, his first at-bat last night against Alabama. Out of the game, gets x-rays, comes back in street clothes, in a sling. The reports are broken forearm, fractured forearm, done for the year. So Florida has lost another baseball player, another season-ending injury to go with a bunch of extended injuries So a little bit later in the game, second baseman Justin Nadeau, who is the backup second baseman because the starting second baseman, who was an All-American candidate, Cade Curlin, has barely played all year, early injury. So Nadeau last night fields a ground ball, which turns into a 4-6-3 double play. Nadeau fields it at his second base position, flips to shortstop. Well, as he's fielding the ball, obviously, and this happens in baseball, you want to use your throwing hand to kind of cover the ball in your glove and then make your move. It appeared that the ball kind of struck the tip of his finger. I'm not sure if it's ring finger or middle finger, but they were working on his hand, and it appears he was pulled out of the game. There was blood. You got the feeling that the ball hit the tip of his finger and really either, I don't know if it broke it. I haven't heard anything on Nadeau. There was discussion by the broadcasters, maybe it was a nail issue, maybe bent the nail back, knocked the nail off. And if you've ever damaged a toenail or a fingernail, oh my God, that is a painful situation. Certainly if you lose your nail, it is, and it's his throwing hand, obviously the glove hand was protected. So Florida loses 2 players last night, 1 for the season. Just kind of bouncing around. Here's what they did last night. Here's what happened. I mean, when you're now down to your third second baseman, you're scrambling. You are scrambling. Last night, obviously Brody Donay and Luke Heyman are the 2 catchers for Florida. Heyman now out for the year with that fractured forearm last night. Brody Donay will be the majority time catcher. I don't know if he can catch every inning. They got to find some way to give him a little bit of a break the rest of the year. But Brody Donay went behind the plate. That's not terribly disruptive. He's caught a lot this year. He's not the number 1 catcher, but he's caught a lot. So they'll be okay back there with Donay. Donay and Heyman were kind of, they would slightly alternate. One plays DH or first base and the other catches. So they moved Donay behind the plate last night. Nadeau comes out at second base. He's your backup second baseman already. So Florida goes to their third second baseman. They bring their starting left fielder, Blake Sear, who has some infield experience, not this year though. He goes to play second base. They take a outfielder, Blake Brookins, who has not played one bit this year. The plan was to redshirt. He goes into left field last night. They've run out of players, basically, in Gainesville. They burnt his red shirt. He goes out and plays and has a nice game. He hits a double. He scored a run. Florida is currently playing without their starting shortstop, an all-SEC caliber player, Colby Shelton, has been out about a month. They think he would be back if they get in postseason play, which they will. The Gators starting center fielder, Hayden Yost, was not plugged into center field. That was supposed to be Kyle Jones, who made, I think, about a week into the season before he went out for the season. I mentioned Cade Curlin. There have been pitching injuries. Menendez is out for the year. Coppola, who will start tonight if they play tonight, is trying to come back from multiple-year arm trouble. It's just been one of those years for Gator baseball. But all that woes me. All that, man, I've never seen the injury bug this bad, and I haven't. They keep winning. They just keep winning. Plug and play. Plug and play. Light at the end of the tunnel. Shelton, most reports, he's got a wrist injury. Most reports are they think Colby Shelton will play in postseason play. They're going to go ahead and hold him out. The permanent cast looks like it's now a temporary cast. Cade Curlin supposedly is getting really close to being activated again. So you might get your starting shortstop and your starting second baseman back. How long would it take these guys to get in the swing of things? Anybody's guess. Coppola, if he gives them another good outing, you got to feel real good about another big-time arm. The big lefty has had a couple of good outings, albeit 1 inning here and 2 innings there. The plan tonight, if they can play baseball in Gainesville, Coppola's on the mound. The plan is to give him 50 pitches. They're going to stretch him out to 50 pitches. So we're not sure how many innings that would be if he can get to that threshold. Florida State, a little disappointing game last night. North Carolina in Tallahassee kind of beat up on the Noles 8-3. Florida State trying to hold on and outright win the ACC title. The Noles are fine. They're getting in postseason baseball play. They're going to host in Tallahassee. But they're ranked second in the nation in D1 baseball right now. North Carolina's 4. The national seeds matter. When the conference tournaments are over, national seeds matter. And gosh darn, this series could swing. North Carolina could win the ACC. If that happens, North Carolina would have obviously taken 2, or probably 3 from Florida State. If that happens, that would probably boost North Carolina higher than Florida State. You want to be in the top 8 nationally because that puts you where if you're in the top 8 nationally seeding, you're going to host your regional. If you win your regional, the higher seed will host the super regional. So it is important. The seeding is important. So Florida State looking to rebound in baseball tonight at home. Gosh, just thinking about this as well. In Gainesville tonight, you are scheduled anyway to have softball regional play and big baseball series, and both of those in Gainesville. Baseball, softball. In Tallahassee, kind of the same thing. Softball hosting in Tallahassee, baseball at home, big series. So hopefully the weather will cooperate. All right, let's take a break. We've hit the 5 o'clock mark. Reminder again, serious situation at Jacksonville International Airport. There has been a massive fire. Looks like it's been extinguished. Multiple cars in the parking garage caught fire. It was a massive blaze. Follow our website, Action News Jax. We're on top of that. You can get the latest details. That is unfortunately the story of the day around here. I'm not even sure. The airport has been closed. JIA has been closed. Inbound and outbound traffic was shut down as of an hour ago, at least the last we checked. The fire department has killed all traffic in and out. People inside the terminal have been sequestered, if you will, at least within up until the last hour. That's the last report we got. You can't have people just walking out where a major fire is trying to be extinguished. So, yeah, it's a mess. Hopefully no injuries, no loss of life. We can only hope. I haven't heard anything to the contrary on either one of those, so let's just hope for the best. But a major fire at JIA. If you are traveling, if you got loved ones, friends, family, in and out, coming in, coming out, check on them, and hopefully they're fine. And you want to find out a timing issue. So it's going to be a mess down there. We hope it's as good as can we hope for. And we get through this with the help of all the first responders. All right, 1 hour down. We'll come back and talk a lot more ball with our buddy Brent Beard right here on the Young Norvelle Show. Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com, and while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
All right, there's a shot. I don't think that's a live shot because I would imagine there's some cloud coverage in Gainesville as the Gainesville softball regional is in a delay. Welcome back, hour number 2. Terry Norvelle welcoming Brent Beard. Brent, I want to get a lot of stuff out here, including, hold on, UNF softball. Bottom of the 7th in the Columbia, South Carolina softball regional. UNF leading Virginia 2-1, bottom of the 7th, which is Virginia's up to bat. So UNF trying to close. That'd be a nice win for North Florida, wouldn't it?
Where would that rank in their
nice.
big wins in their history, you think?
Man, do I know UNF softball like the back of my hand? No. I don't know JU softball. I don't think UNF or JU has made the regionals many times. This would be, I would think, the biggest win in UNF softball history.
You know our philosophy though on underdogs in games, in big games like this.
Yeah.
Is they find ways to lose games more than find ways to win. Games.
Yeah. Exactly. The underdog can lose it a lot easier than the favorite goes and gets it a lot of times. They get a lot of help. Brent, a lot of stuff to get to. And I want to give a couple more scores. UNF leading Virginia softball regional 2-1, bottom of 7th. UNF trying to close that out. Florida State currently leading Robert Morris 3-0, bottom of 3rd. Georgia earlier today in softball defeated Coastal Carolina. Pretty good game. It was tied at 3 for a long time. Georgia wins 6-3. Florida Mercer softball regional in Gainesville delayed. They're in a delay, which concerns me because baseball's trying to play right there as well.
They sure are.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Right across the street. So baseball was supposed to first pitch 6:30. We'll get to that in a minute. But, it's kind of neat that in Tallahassee, softball's hosting, and there's a big baseball series going on also. Yes. In Gainesville, Florida's hosting, and there's a big baseball. Pretty neat.
Yeah.
And Brent, last thing before we get deep into what we want to talk about. Boy, that tragedy, the fire at the airport. I don't know if you're caught up on that. It was just
I've terrible with it all day long.
Yeah, I don't want to be over exuberant here, but and you can follow what we're talking about on Action News Jacks. Our website does a great job following it, and obviously the newscast, CBS 47, Fox 30, will cover it. But multiple cars caught fire in the parking garage at JIA. JIA has been shut down. Brent, at its peak, when I was looking at it, I mean, that was a raging inferno.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And look, on a much smaller scale, Terry, this started, mid-morning? So you've got people there probably stuck in the airport who've been trying to get out of there since 11 o'clock or noon.
And you understand the fire department. They've closed all roads coming in and going out, and they had to, like you said, sequester all the people in the terminal. You can't let hundreds, if not thousands, of people walk out and around and rubberneck a massive fire going on.
Did they? Now, there were flights that were circling overhead or on their way to Jacksonville. I wonder if they just sent those flights.
To Orlando
But now think about this a minute. The real issue here, there's several issues here, but when you've got cars and gasoline and fires, that's a nasty combination. So they've probably done a tremendous job, Terry, from having an absolute unmitigated disaster there as far as what that could be.
We just hope for the best in a horrible situation. Hopefully, somehow, no injuries, no loss of life. So anyway, that is the big story. Brent, we've led off the show and talked a lot. Pat was on earlier. Just a wild game last night, baseball, Florida, Alabama in Gainesville. Really a game Alabama probably should have won. Alabama jumps out to a 5-0 lead. Florida chips away, ends up winning it 7-6, which is only part of the story. I mean, a great, costly win. Brent, I don't know if I've seen a team that I've really followed go through the injury bug this bad. They lose Heyman for the season last night. Nadeau, they lose 2 starters from the game last night, 1 for the season. Brent, they're taking red shirts off of players. They're moving left fielders to second base. I mean, it has been an epidemic injury season, but the Gators keep winning somehow.
Well, they do. They're resilient. They're like the basketball team in a lot of ways as far as doing that. And one of the biggest injuries was the catcher. When Terry he caught
Heyman.
Because he caught a ball where? Right on the forearm or something like that?
Yeah, fractured forearm, out for the year. And Heyman is the backbone of that team. I mean, he's a veteran guy. Your catcher generally is your leader a lot of times. But man, oh man, we went over this. There's a baseball adage, Brent, that says you're only as strong as you are up the middle. Baseball, they say your catcher, your shortstop, your second baseman, and your center fielder. You better be strong there. Here's Florida's up the middle this year. Their starting center fielder, I think, played 2 games. Blew his knee out. Kyle Jones, out for the year. Their current starting shortstop, Colby Shelton, by way of Alabama, really nice player. He's having an all-SEC type year. He's got a wrist injury. He's been out for a month. They think he'll come back in postseason play. Their starting second baseman, Cade Curlin, just like Heyman, been around the program, been to Omaha twice. Cade Curlin was getting preseason All-American honors. He made a couple weeks before he got hurt. He might come back. And then your starting catcher goes out last night. So the entire middle is not there for Florida.
No. Boy, that's a rough situation. And also the thing that I'm guessing with your eagle eye that you saw, Terry and I sharing some D1 baseball projected field.
Yeah, I saw that. Go over that.
Well, Terry, did that surprise you like it surprised me that Florida at this point going to looking like a number 2 seed in Chapel Hill instead of Tallahassee?
Yeah, a little bit. I still think if they can get one more win, they're going to host. I think, but that'd be nasty. That'd be nasty to go to Chapel Hill. They're good, man. Hell, they put it on Florida State last night. Before we talk more Florida Alabama baseball, and before we forget, I had heard a lot about the Alabama shortstop LeBron.
Yes.
What a nice player.
He really is.
I mean, you can baseball. There's a saying in baseball. You can look at a guy if you know the game and you go, that guy's got baseball actions.
Mm-hmm.
That guy's got baseball. That kid, he's long. He's got a feel for the game. And did you hear the guys last night? They concurred with what you said yesterday. This cat at Alabama, the shortstop, he's projecting when he's draft eligible, he could be one of one.
Yeah, he really could. By the way, Terry, I was also told that this guy got now, obviously the baseball team doesn't get the NIL money the football team or even the basketball team gets, but this guy at Alabama is getting about, I was told about 80% of the NIL money. How about that?
He is a nice player, state of Florida kid that I mean, everybody knew about him, but nice player. Before we go any further, and because you've covered this program and this part of our listening, viewing audience, boy, shame that St. John's Country Day couldn't bring the state championship home last night.
Yeah, really.
They lose that game to Canterbury 6-2. So nothing to be ashamed of. A third overall runner-up finish. To go with a state title for St. John's Country Day. They just couldn't. That team was playing in front of their home folks too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That makes a real difference. And look, don't think for a minute in a game like that. To Terry's point, I'm not saying they buy the umpires or any silly thing like that. But I'm saying you played enough baseball to know when you're in a situation like that, Terry, those calls can't help but affect those umpires in some ways, do they?
Yeah, definitely. But what a tough way to end. They finished 26-9. We've got one more chance next week to bring a title, high school baseball title, as Trinity. They'll play next week in a little bit higher classification. So I thought last night's game. I thought Alabama probably should have won that game, and where they erred, I think they probably should have been up 8-0. 5-0's big, but they probably let that game get away in those first 3 or 4 because Florida was kind of staggered. Number one, Alabama hit a couple home runs, and then those 2 injuries. And the announcers were alluding to it. Man, it's kind of a morgue-like atmosphere in this stadium now. And so Florida staggered around for 2 or 3 innings after Alabama got ahead 5-0, and I thought they may just pile it on.
There's no way Florida wins that game, Terry, 6 weeks ago?
No, not at all.
That really shows you where they are at this point, close to – frankly, I think it's significant right now that the Gators are have climbed back to where they are right now. Even with, they're around 500,
right at 500
in the league.
Yeah.
They started 1-11. Now they're what, 500, as Terry said. My stars, Terry. I don't remember a resurgence like that at Florida or anyone in the league in a while.
No, I can't think of anything like that. Especially that league, you're normally buried if you're that down. If you're that down, you stay down. A couple other notes from the SEC. Another loss for Texas A&M. Boy, they're going to play. They're going to play their way right out of it. Texas clinches the regular season. That's impressive. That's impressive that they clinch the regular season. We got Pat back. It looks like. We don't hear him. We got him, but you don't hear him.
Pat, are you there? Yeah, the next 4 out, A&M's in that bracket. So, Terry, they would have to really do some damage.
Yeah.
In the SEC tournament next week, frankly, to be able to get in.
And that's a shame too, because it looks like now, and this is nothing to sneeze at. It looks like 13 of the 16 teams in the SEC will get in. Hey, buddy. There we go. There we go. Hold on one second. Let me finish this thought, Pat. And Brent, it looks like for the longest time, we all thought, most baseball people thought the SEC would get 14 of 16 in. Missouri and South Carolina are not going to make it. Now it looks like it'll be 13 of 16 because I think you're add Texas A&M. They're playing their way right. I don't see, other than them getting hot and somehow winning that tournament, in Hoover, I don't see A&M getting in.
I don't know how you really could pick a number 1 seed right now. As Pat joins us again, I mean, what?
There he is.
What Arkansas, LSU, and Texas. Flip a coin on that number 1 seed, okay?
Yeah, how about that? And guys, real quick, it looks like it has gone final. UNF softball knocks off Virginia 2-1.
Let's go!
Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? Let me just double check everything. Yeah, UNF final, 2-1 winners over Virginia. And Pat, Brent was asking. None of us know UNF softball that well. That's got to be the biggest win in that program's history.
It's got to be by far. I don't know too much, but like, what does that put them into in the tournament? Round of
No, they're part of the. They're in the Columbia Regional, so they just knocked off Virginia. The host team is South Carolina. They play Elon. They may have already played. So UNF will play the winner, and it's a 4-team regional. You got to knock each other out. But how about that for UNF? Good for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good for them, man. Okay, and we don't know do you know if have they made the Super Regional before?
I don't think they ever have. We would have had that in the back of our mind if JU softball or UNF softball had ever made it that far, I think. And, that's really cool for them. Again, Florida State has stretched their lead in softball to 6-0 over Robert Morris. Florida Mercer softball in Gainesville delayed. And, Pat, I was talking to Brent. If softball's delayed, you got to believe baseball, which is across the street.
Oh, my gosh.
I hope the weather blows out of there and everybody can play. But, man, I hate for one of these all-night delay things.
You bring something up that's so funny. So I remember I was in studio around the end of the season, and obviously baseball is well into starting at that point. And I wish I could tell you exactly which team it was, but rain delay, and they're playing baseball and softball, obviously within a 2-mile radius, a 1-mile radius, something like that. The baseball game gets continued and the softball game gets canceled.
How about that? Hey, well,
what?
The other thing, and I'm serious about this, and I don't know the answer. Casey and I have kicked this around. I've kicked this around with you guys, I think, for years. Somebody needs to explain to me college football and college baseball routinely have weather/lightning delays.
Yes.
Yep. Oh, I know where you're going.
Yet the NFL and Major League Baseball, who also have a bunch of open air outdoor stadiums, they have some, but they're rare if it's a lightning delay. Rare. Are you telling me the NFL and Major League Baseball, they value human life less than? I mean, how do you explain that?
You've said this all the time, Terry, and now I guess baseball is doing it in a more subtle way. The NFL controls the weather.
Yes, they control everything else.
Hey, I got a question for both of you. If you're 2 questions here. If you're the UNF softball coach, did you have a speech prepared at the end of the game that we lose? Now what do you say after we've won? And the other thing is, and I'm curious if either one of you have gone through this. Look, when you've had the greatest win in your history, you're still playing. Obviously the next day. Now, what in the world do you do to get yourself? I know this sounds silly.
No.
But Pat, speak to that. What do you do to get your feet on the ground for the next day?
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right, and it's really ironic. I don't want to take over, but this is an event I was at yesterday.
Yeah, go ahead.
John Gordon had an event called Training Camp, and you guys are going to freaking love this. So Dabo Sweeney, Jim Rome,
wow,
Kevin O'Connell, Sean McVay,
really,
Trent Dilfer, Jay Glazer, Eddie George, and last but not least, Matt Rule. got a chance to see all of those coaches go up and talk about some really insightful things. And one of them was, I can't remember which coach, how do you handle success?
Really?
How do you, and it's not to come from a brag. It's not a, what do you mean? You got to worry about handling success. Being able to get your team to fight over that human nature. Oh man, we've done it. We're going to relax, blah, blah, blah. So you hope that UNF softball team, you celebrate the win. You got to get prepared. You got to, now you have the confidence, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Any day it's one game.
Yeah.
But actually in the regional, is it a best of 3 in the regional final? Or is it?
In the regionals, you just play until you eliminate the other 2.
Yeah, I got you.
What I mean? It may take you 2 wins or 4 wins. Yeah.
Super regional is in that final series is best of. Actually,
2 out of 3.
Yeah.
2 out of 3. You know what else you do if you're UNF softball? You just won a huge game in the regional, 2-1 over Virginia, Power 4 school. You grab a quick bite to eat, and you go back out to the ball yard and you pull for Elon at 5:30 as they take on South Carolina, the host SEC big bad boy. I don't know what are Elon, the Rams? I don't know what they are.
No. To you, I'm really glad you just said that, Terry and Brent. We know this. We've seen this countless times. Say you're UNF, and somehow Elon pulls the upset.
Oh,
right. Then all of a sudden you're like, oh, now we got the easy route. Oh, yeah. And that is so dangerous to ever think that.
Yeah,
when it's one game.
That could get you beat.
You asked about the Elon. What they're
what are they? Eagles. Elon Eagles, I think. I don't know.
Yeah. No, they're the Elon Musk. Okay.
Very nice.
How did I do that? If they were smart, they would do something with that, some kind of way.
You're right, Pat. You're right, Pat. You're right. Pat, you're right. And number 2, how the hell did I not think of that? I'm the funny guy here. God, darn it.
Well,
he's funny, but Brent's the smartest. Come on.
I agree.
I'll tell you what happened is he left the Sex Panther at home on the shelf. That would have made a difference. Now, I want to go back to the conference you were at, Pat. Was that?
Yeah.
Now, was that the John Gordon?
The John Gordon.
Yes. Energy guy or whatever?
The Energy Bus guy. So this was called one of his bestsellers. He's a 14-time best-selling author.
Really?
14-time national best-selling author. The book that he's the most known for, as you just said, The Energy Bus, it got denied by 30 publishers.
Wow.
30 publishers before someone finally, he went on a book tour. Nobody's showing up to his book tour. And it's a long story short, but someone reading his book got it into the hands of Dabo Swinney.
Yeah.
And for John Gordon, everything changed after that. Unbelievable, man.
Hey, Pat,
I'll tell you some cool things that each guy kind of talked about.
Okay.
Sean McVay, and we all know publicly, he talked about how he struggled with, do I still want to do this?
Yeah.
At some point. And he said the best thing that happened to him was the 5-12 season.
Really?
Which is nuts to say. He said that was the best thing that happened. I got to talk to Kevin freaking O'Connell, man. Like that football space, and what was the most impressive to me? Seeing all those guys together. They have such a great love for one another, which is, Coach Sean McVay. Oh, and actually, this is a great story. I forget what I'm talking about now. This is a great story that Kevin O'Connell. This is a great story. So Kevin O'Connell, as you know,
it better be.
He was. Oh, this is the best. This is one of the best stories I've heard. He talked about how when he was with the Patriots, and they had a mini camp. Goes into mini camp. Tom Brady's out with some shoulder soreness. Matt Castle's out with some elbow soreness or soreness as well. So he has to go in after they just come off the year where they went 18-1. So this guy, Kevin O'Connell, who doesn't really know. He doesn't know the playbook that well. Like he bounced around a lot with his quarterback career. They're like, hey, you're the only quarterback we've got. You're going to get all the reps. So Teddy Bruschi, Edelman, Randy Moss. Just think of that team back then, how great they were. He gets the play call, and we know how complicated football play calls are, right? So Rhino left, trips, Z squared, blah 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 blah. Says that he gets the play call, and the way that I just did the play call was what he just did with all those guys around him.
Nice.
He says, Randy Moss unstraps his helmet and says, "Oh hell no! Oh hell no! I ain't working with this guy." But he said the irony, the beautiful part behind it was that years and years later, Randy Moss said, "You were one of the best teammates I've ever had." In that time. So that was pretty cool. He said, as you can imagine, my Patriots career was very short.
Hey, Pat, was that a Zoom setup with all those people?
No. Every single person was in person. Every single one. I have a picture with Matt Rule. I have a picture with Sean McVay. I have a picture with Kevin. I have a picture with Billy Donovan. Billy Donovan made an appearance. Yeah, Terry, I'm telling you, this was incredible.
Where the hell was this at?
Where do you think it was at? The Players Championship Clubhouse.
Wow.
Holy cow.
It was from 8:30 to 5 p.m.
Holy cow.
Pat, was Matt Rule as good as we've heard he is?
Man, I am the biggest Matt Rule fan.
Really?
He talked about he did not want to take the job to Nebraska because he wanted his son to stay and coach or stay at the same high school for 4 years. He's battling with it. They want him there. He's coming off the Panthers. Like, he talked about how tough it is. Like, his family, 6 games in a row, fire Rule. He said his wife and his son both said, "Go take that job. I will stay here and finish school." And just so cool how he, as a coach, and Jim Rome, he was there. How long has Jim Rome been in the industry?
30 years at least.
Yeah.
Oh, at least. Jim Rome said, in all my 30 years of doing radio or whatever, TV, sports, he's like, I've never experienced these guys at this level just telling us, like, the stuff that, like, all those guys are successful.
Yeah.
Sean McVay had the coolest bag. He's got this, I don't know, designer bag, and on the top of it, he got the faceplate of his championship ring.
Nice.
Stitch into it. Oh my God! I snuck. I said, "Hey, coach, can I take a picture of that?"
Did you steal it?
Dude, go ahead.
Did you steal it?
No, absolutely not.
Borrow it?
Absolutely not. No, I licked it actually, because if you lick something, then it's yours.
It's yours, yeah. Pat, was there a speaking order, or was it just a free for all, or how was it?
No. They did. They had a really, really tight order. They wanted to respect everybody's time. So this guy, Jordan Montgomery, who's a best-selling author, and he was the MC. He's the speaker. Like, John would he interviewed Trent Dilfer and Corey Close, the head coach. She's the head coach of UCLA.
Okay.
Women's basketball. They made their first Final Four last season. And she said, which is crazy. You look at it from the outside. Oh man, this had to be her best year. She said that was one of her worst coaching jobs.
Really?
Interesting. Not being able to meet. She said you got to meet players where they are. I mean, I should have the amount of notes that I took. Like, Buzz Williams was there as well.
Really?
He is a walking, talking quote machine.
Yeah, he is.
Man, it sounds like that was a wonderful event. Sounds like it.
It was wonderful, man, and this one lady, she had the shortest amount of time. Shantae Lowe, I had never heard her speak before. 13 minutes is all she got, and I don't want to pick favorites, but I just say she made me cry because she's a 4-time Olympian.
How about that?
Just kept falling short, and it was fun. She was so funny with it and emotional. She had each Olympics, she had a baby, and. Going into her 4th Olympics, like it's so much more. she gets diagnosed with breast cancer.
Oh no.
And she has the videos of her like shaving her head and crying and like how she overcame. And the most beautiful part of not only her, but every single man and woman that's nationally known all talked about how they could not do any of this without Jesus giving them the strength to do it. Wow. Every single one of them.
How about that?
And John Gordon at the end, I'm like, John, can you believe like every single person talk? He's like, do you think it was a little too much? I'm like, dude, no. These are the elite of the elite. Mm-hmm. If they're saying they need outside help to be great, how much more do we? And that's what I walked away with the most. Like it just, you couldn't have gone through that, guys, and not have been driven to go do more.
Now, real quick, Pat, did you speak?
No,
I thought you should have spoke. You should have spoke there.
I would have loved to speak. Coach Donovan was able to pop in. He popped in. He had to go leave. He couldn't stay for the whole thing, but he talked about our team and he shouted me out with what happened, and that was pretty cool. I mean, nice. I didn't need to talk, man. I just needed to listen to everything. I need to listen to everything.
And Brent, you're a mature grown man like I am. It took me a long time, but man, a lot of times the best knowledge you gather is when you keep your mouth shut.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, just keep your mouth shut, and you can grab it. Hey, Pat, we're gonna take another break. I'll let you go with your driving, man. It sounds like that was a moving day. Good for you, man. Good for you.
Man, I hope next year they'll do it again, and that you guys will be able to attend or be a fly on the wall or something. I don't care. Shoot, I'll tell them, hey, Terry's good with lights. He'll hold a light.
Yeah, exactly. I will. Pat, get about your business. Drive safe. Have a great weekend. We'll touch base on Monday. Let's take a break, Brent. When we come back, I want to tease a little bit as we take our final break. I call it college football splitting the atom again. They're figuring out this portal, and they're adding some practice days and OTAs. But boy, Brent, they're making it hard. We'll talk about that. Start wrapping up the show on a Friday. The Young Norvelle Show continues right here on Action Sports Jacks. Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store, either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms, from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com. And while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
All right, let's get back to one final score update from the PGA Championship golf match going on in Carolina. Jonathan Vegas, who should be Johnny Vegas, in the clubhouse a couple hours ago. He was your leader after round 1 with a 64. He smoked the course. He followed that up with a 1 under 70. It's a par 71. So Vegas in at 8 under. Right now in the clubhouse at 6 under is Matthew Pavon. A couple guys could make a run that are still 6 under on the course, Smalley and Fitzpatrick. But Jonathy Vegas still leading the. You got to go by Johnny Vegas, don't you? Not Jonathan.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, really.
Brent Beard, how long will this take the powers that be in college football? Here's all they're trying to do. As slow as they move, this will take 10 years. The college football people are trying to, go ahead and approve a one-time portal in January. A one-time portal, not 2 portals spread out, one time in January. So they're trying to get 1 portal in January. They want to add 6 non-padded football practices in the spring to knock that up to 21 from 15. They then want to give the programs the option of having 21 in one session, or they can split them up in 2 sessions if they so choose. If they split them up, they have to have 2 or 3 weeks in between their sessions, right? And all this would take place between January and June. It all sounds good, but how long will it take these guys? I mean, they handle everything like they're splitting the atom anyway.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing that's going to get them going is the new contract opens next year, and from 26 to 31. And I think they know they've got to get all this done before that happens, or at least they need to get it done before that happens. The biggest thing out of what you said that really needs to happen is having 1 portal, and that's
Absolutely.
and the truth of the matter is, that portal doesn't need to be any more than 10 days at the most.
Yeah, I agree. The only thing from a selfish standpoint, and Casey and I were talking about this, you and I have talked a lot, this period we're in right now, this May, June, this little, let's just call it mid-May to mid-June. College football needs something. They need a PR something. I'm all for the portal in January, and I'm all for the portal, kind of knowing your team going into spring practice. I get that. But, man, wouldn't it be nice if that portal was here in these next 3 or 4 weeks, it could be a big event for college football. You could make it a day, but we would all be talking about it for 2 weeks going in and a week coming out because it's so important. Wouldn't it be nice to have something college football-esque, this little quasi-dead period for college football?
Oh, yeah. Well, you and I've said this for years now, that the NFL really knows what to do to take advantage of the time.
Really do.
And look, and I think you mentioned this too, they really need to do something with the schedule. They've announced all these schedules and the times and so forth. Look, even if you know when the day is going to be, you don't know the time. I mean, they really need to make that a big deal.
They do.
Or a bigger deal than they do and make that a live event. Yeah.
And couldn't they get the times down? I mean, we know the days. And would it be moving Mount Everest to say, hey, guys, networks, this is college football talking, all of our network partners, we want a big announcement day where, and you could do that. And again, copy the NFL, build in a couple of flex time. You may say, hey, we get to flex 2 games if we want to. That noon game has turned into a big game. We want to move that to 3:30. You know? The other thing, and I always point this out, I'm not a big NFL guy. I love college more than NFL. But the NFL knows what they're doing, particularly the Power 4 schools, the Power 4 conferences, all those schools. They also need some unified scheduling. You don't need SEC with 8 conference games and this conference with 9 and this conference with 7. The NFL doesn't have all that. They have a model, and you play your division teams twice. You cycle through you know what I mean? It needs some unified scheduling. It really does.
Well, there's been a lot of talk about that, but particularly with the SEC going to 9. And these other conferences who aren't at 9 to go to 9.
Yeah.
And that would be I would agree with that totally. That would bring things unified at that point. Now the other thing going on right now, and I give Brandon Marcello credit about this. He did a story, came out yesterday, and you and I have talked about this for a while too. They do these, and this is about the seedings. Okay, they do these November Tuesday night things like it was the last installation of Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
They come out with, this is a big deal. Well, this is appointment television and all that stuff to go along with it. But what they're looking at now is just seed the teams in the playoff the way you've got them in your last top 25. I mean, Terry, how hard is that?
No.
Just use what you've already got. And when you do that, it makes a lot of sense. And when you do that, you're not going to have Boise State and Indiana get a bye and have to deal with that kind of situation again.
How wacky was that, by the way?
It was.
Absolutely wacky was that. No disrespect to those programs. What in the world were they getting buys?
And that's what people were arguing about. And look, the other thing that there's some pushback on, and this really makes some sense, is the automatic qualifiers can't always be whoever wins your conference championship, because you and I both know in a conference championship game, you could have an undefeated team going against a team that has 3 losses, maybe even 4 on a wild year.
Yeah.
And you don't want to keep your to have the best team in your conference record wise to end up being a 7, 8, or 9 seed type thing, or something like that.
Totally agree. Quick softball update and some good news here. It looks like Florida State is going to run rule Robert Morris. Florida State leading in softball 10-0 over in Tallahassee. We told you UNF has upset and beaten Virginia in softball regional play. And Brent, top of the second, Florida Mercer, no score, so they're playing softball.
Good.
So that means they should be able to play unless something else happens. This was delayed, and that kind of worried us a little bit about Florida, Alabama, because, Brent, it's the end of the week, man. I don't know if I can go to 11:30 or 12 o'clock.
Well, listen, we're going to get enough of that in the SEC tournament.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that's going to happen when you've got games starting at 10 o'clock and things of that nature, as they do.
And we've got a week next week to talk about it. But I love the fact that they changed the SEC baseball tournament to a single elimination.
I agree with that. Yes.
I mean, and you, the coach, can decide what your philosophy is. Some teams may need a win or two. They go, to the wall. Some teams, a lot of them will say, hey, we're not throwing in the towel, but we're going to prep our team for regional action. We may throw game one. We may have a 2-inning approach. Let some guys get some throws. I love it because, man, that thing, when it was double elimination, you get stuck out there. You're already qualified for regional play. It's double. You win a game if you're a high seed. You may get the second game, then you lose the third one, but it's a double elimination, so you come back and win a fourth one. You're playing a fifth game, and you're like, I just want to get home, wash the uniforms, and start heading to the regionals.
Look, Terry, imagine if you stay to the end of that, or like you're one of the worker bees out there, or even one of the teams and what you're going through. I mean, look, Terry, for a tournament like that, and they probably got perfunctory luncheon, dinner for everybody, either Sunday or Monday.
Absolutely. They'll want you to come in. Yeah.
I mean, look, if your team makes it to the weekend, brother, I mean, you're in Hoover for a week, aren't you?
You are. And I think they still do this with these conferences. What you said was true. When I was at JU, we were in the what was our conference? The Sun Belt. We were in the Sun Belt, but when we would go play the Sun Belt Conference baseball tournament, and it was scheduled to games would be 4, maybe 5 days. But no, you'd get there. We'd get there a day before. Everybody had an hour on the field. Everybody got to go work out for an hour on the game field. And then you had your banquet. All the teams were there, and you gave away your all conference awards and all.
Yeah, absolutely.
So no, you don't just show up the day of the game. No.
No. In this league, there's pomp and circumstance all over. It's like graduation next Friday night. That would be pomp and circumstance. But believe me, in a thing like this, it is for our viewers. I know we're getting short on time. Terry and I shared some notes together today. Hey, David Hale says.
Yeah.
David Hale says, well, I don't think Georgia's going to make the playoff. Now look, how this works, okay? They're in a production meeting, and they probably flipped a coin to where, one of you guys is going to write a story on why Georgia or Alabama or Texas is not going to make the playoffs. And they do that just to get people to click on it. That's what they do.
Absolutely. And he may end up, getting to his nose around his elbow. Georgia may miss, but that's a silly. You could tell that's one of these. And Georgia may miss the playoffs this year. And that's one of those, he could hit this right, and it would have been for all the wrong reasons. He just threw it out there. He just threw it out there. Unbelievable. Brent, we got about 3 minutes left. Are we missing anything from your note bag with it being Friday, heading into the weekend and everything?
Well, we can get on this next week, but the ESPN ranking the coaches, this top 10, Kirby Smart, Ryan Day, Dabo, Marcus Freeman, Steve Sarkisian, Dan Lanning, Kalen DeBoer, Kyle Whittingham, and Matt Campbell. You like that bunch or not?
Yeah, and I do understand, like, Kyle Whittingham's as good as anybody, doesn't have a title. Having a title really helps. You got to win the title to win the list a lot of times. But no, I mean, obviously DeBoer gets him one, he goes way up. Freeman, all of a sudden Marcus Freeman gets in the championship game. He's a genius now.
Now, look, Matt Campbell, that's straddling the
that is, yeah.
I mean, let's just be honest here. I mean, I like him. He's turned the program around.
Yeah.
But let's be honest. Have they really won anything?
Not really. And his bloom is about to shine off, right? And a little bit the whole Matt Campbell.
Yeah, he probably should have made the transfer to another school. Terry, 3 years ago, maybe.
You took the thought out of my mind. He had that win. Now, unless he just loves it in Ames, Iowa, or wherever they're at. I think they're in Ames. Unless he just loves it, he probably missed his window. Unless he can rattle off somehow a 12-1, he probably missed his window, right? Because he had that. He had that. You're the hot guy, Matt Campbell.
Yes.
Now he's more like a guy. Anything else, Brent? Go ahead.
Look, I know what they did last year, but this James Franklin's a love affair.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just not involved with this yet, Terry. That they've really got to do. To me, that they've got to have a 3 or 4 year playoff run before I agree to that.
And he really, man, and you, it's so easy to get intoxicated with them. They bring everybody back, but I don't have any faith in Drew Aller. I don't think he has a feel. No. I don't think he has a feel for the game. I think that's his biggest.
Hey, and listen, you and I talked about this. You remember that playoff game, Terry, against Notre Dame, where he's basically got to help me on this. All he had to do was basically almost take a knee, and he throws the ball, and the doggone thing's intercepted.
I've seen him play a lot. You have too. I haven't seen every one of his games. That was probably Drew Aller's worst pass in his career in the biggest game and the biggest moment, and it didn't have to be. I mean, it wasn't like there was traffic in front of him. That was a little crossing route that he could have bailed out if he didn't think he was open. He could have just thrown it in the dirt, like you said.
Sure, yeah.
All right, Brent, we got to get out of here, buddy. Good stuff. Have a good, safe weekend. And we'll do it again on Monday, the next edition of the Young and Norvelle Show. Hope you enjoyed it. We enjoyed it bringing it to you. We'll do it again Monday, 4 o'clock, right here on Action Sports Jacks.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice three-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jacks app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jacks Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 143